This is exactly why men should stop doing gym classes. And I mean things like Orangetheory, F45, Barry's Boot Camp, especially if you're a guy trying to build some real muscle mass and some real strength. Now, before those classes and those companies come for me and try and sue me, I'm going to explain exactly why. And this is coming from experience as well as research. And you have to remember, I used to work for F45, so I know exactly why it doesn't work, okay? I'm not really against gym classes, by the way. Before I get started though, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Jab, Spectrum of Fit podcast, Spectrum of Health podcast, and also buy me a coffee. It really does help. One coffee a day keeps the pain away and helps support this podcast. I am in a different location for the time being. Don't have my usual setup, but we're getting it done. So F45, Orangetheory, all of those classes, they are great for some people. And mainly when you go in there, you usually see women. So what I say to guys is, look, I'm not saying to not do these classes, but you have to do it as a complement to a solid strength training program. But I need to explain to you why it doesn't really work. And I'll use training and I'll use some examples in training to kind of exemplify my point. So you go to one of these classes, right? They're usually time-based classes. So an example will be, we'll go 45 minutes really, really hard. You get 15 seconds rest and we'll go 45 minutes again. And I'll speak to some people and they'll be like, yeah, no, I'm doing gym classes. I'll be like, yeah, okay, so like, are you doing weights? They'll be like, yeah, no, we do weights in the gym classes. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like, so, but it's not heavy weights, right? Because they're not doing any heavy weights, but they think that that's strength training. And they've confused you because the HIIT workout industry really blew up over the last 10 years. And now they've confused you thinking that doing weights in body pump is strength training. It's not strength training. You cannot train maximal strength under that much fatigue in a time-based training format. It's not possible. Maybe it could be, but it's not really it's not possible. It's not the optimal position to be in to try and train your maximal strength. You have to think of it like this. If I'm in a gym class and they're giving me 45 minutes to bang out as many reps as possible, can I lift as heavy as possible for 45 seconds? Did I say 45 minutes? For 45 seconds? It's impossible, right? I think about it this way. If I was doing a 200 kilo squat, I couldn't do that for 45 seconds, just bang, bang. That's not strength training, okay? That is not strength training. So there's a reason why you can't lift as heavy when you're going to these gym classes. And I'm talking to guys here. Those classes are 60 to 70% women, especially the ones I used to coach in. It was mainly women. But you get guys in there and they would ask, why aren't I building muscle, Jav? I've been doing this class for 8 weeks. Because there's no strength training in this. You cannot build as much muscle. You can't train you can't train at your maximum level under that much fatigue, under a time-based format, under a time-based style of training. There's a time and a place for the conditioning workouts and the HIIT workouts. But in a space where we want to help men build more muscle and more strength, that type of training, that style of training doesn't work. I don't care what you say, I'll argue till the cows come home. If you're a guy doing those classes and you think you're going to build muscle mass, you aren't. Maybe at the start, if you're a beginner and you're overweight and you're just getting into it, yeah, you might build a bit of muscle mass, but you're not going to build long-lasting results doing that style of training. The next thing is that those classes, you can only do that for maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week, because it's too much intensity on the body to do it every day. So some people, especially in the gym I used to work at, they used to do the classes every day. And I'll be talking to them and I'll be like, honestly, in a real high intensity environment, do you think that I could do a real high intensity workout, like high intensity, that's leaving me fatigued every single day and perform at a high level? It's not possible. You need rest, or you need like lower days. You need days where it's not as much load. You know, you need days where you're not pushing yourself to that 90% level. It's not possible. So you have to bear that in mind. And there's a reason for that, okay? There's a reason for that. Another issue is when you're doing too much high intensity work, it can catabolize the muscle. Too much cardio can catabolize your muscle, which then means, again, you don't look like you've built muscle even though you've been doing this class. You just look like you've lost weight, which means you've lost body mass, which means you've lost muscle mass and body fat at the same time, which is not what we want. Another issue is that you end up plateauing when you do just gym classes. And I'll explain this in a very simple way. There's a graph by OPEX Fitness, which is a very reputable fitness company. OPEX Fitness, they made a post sometime maybe last year where they basically showed like what happens to your progress when you just do gym classes. And the reality is this: in a gym class, when you start off and you're a beginner, you're going to get those newbie gains. So you're going to start off and you're going to get fitter, your cardio is going to improve. Yeah, you're going to improve like from a strength endurance perspective, you know, push-ups, maybe pull-ups, maybe doing some sit-ups, like that side of things will improve. Cool. But you do that for 3 to 4 months, maybe 5 or 6 months, especially if you're a beginner. You lose a bit of fat, you lose a bit of weight, and then eventually it kind of tails off. Why? Well, think of it this way. You're in a gym with 20 other people doing a class. Now, maybe everyone in that class has a goal of losing weight, right? But your route to weight loss versus my route to weight loss versus Jenny and Jason and Jackson and Joseph is different, because we're all different type of people. We all respond to training differently. Therefore, gym classes are great as a general thing to do, but they're not personalized. So at some point, you're going to get really fit doing the gym class, and then it's going to tail off, and you're just going to be stuck at that level. You're not going to improve anymore because you're just doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. Now we're not looking at the individual, because how can I, as a coach 30 people in a group setting and provide one-to-one tips that you need to break that plateau? It's not possible, which is why you do gym classes in conjunction with a personal program, a personal strength training program. Okay, so you have to bear in mind that you're going to plateau, and also it's not personalized. So it wasn't built for you. It was built for you plus Jason plus Jenny plus Maria plus your friend Donald. Like, it wasn't built for you. Just remember that. There's a reason why at some point, and this is for men, at some point gym classes are not serving you. And there's also a reason why when you go in there, it's mainly women. That's what I say to the guys. Look, if you want to build muscle, change your physique, doing that is not really going to do it for you. And another thing, and this really is probably my biggest pet peeve, and I get people that get really upset when I say this, but if you're a guy and you're saying, oh, I need support in the gym and all this kind of stuff, all I can say is, like, you don't need your hand held in the gym. If you're a beginner, yeah, you need a bit of support. You need a coach to show you what to do, so on and so forth. But you do not need your hand held in the gym. You'll be fine. With that being said, that's exactly why most men do not need to be doing gym classes. No offense to F45 and Orangetheory and all those classes, but if you're a guy trying to get muscle mass, have a more athletic physique, look good, you do those classes as a complement to your personalized strength gym program that you're using to build muscle for you. Was there anything else? No, that was it. Spectrum of Health podcast. It's Jav. Before I let you go, please donate a coffee. And I got something for you. I have a free 14-day six-pack guide for guys out there that actually want to get in amazing shape, and they mean it. Don't download it if you're an idiot who isn't going to take it seriously. I'm just being real. Don't download it, because you're wasting your own time. And I only want to work with people that are serious, not time wasters. And it's free. I'm giving you something for free. 14-day program. You got to do is follow it. If you follow it for 14 days, you can drop £5. That's £5 to start your journey for the new year. Anyway, download it. Peace.